Which quarterback is the most important to his team? These were the options from Kent: Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, or Tom Brady. Stephen A.
Believe it or not, as much as I've been talking about Tom Brady, and I firmly believe it, I got to think about Lamar Jackson, because I'm wondering what kind of offense Baltimore would have had at all without him. You know, Tom Brady is going to be surreal, and paired with those receivers, I expect lethal production. But when I look at Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, without Lamar Jackson, I don't know if they have any kind of offense. We might have lamented the fact that Jameis Winston could have been Defensive Player of the Year because of the 30 interceptions he threw as the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he still threw 33 touchdowns. He still had the Mike Evans, the Godwins, the Howards, the Braits of the world to throw the football to. What does Lamar Jackson have? We asked Mark, he's got Mark Ingram, who was on our show just a couple of days ago, and I'm not saying Hollywood Brown and these brothers can't play, but without Lamar Jackson, I think Baltimore's offense is virtually non-existent. So I got to go with him.
That's a great argument, but I think Patrick Mahomes' kind of extraordinary, extraterrestrial ability even surpasses that, Stephen. I know what you mean. Lamar Jackson's so integral to what they do offensively. Without him, like, who could even replace him in that style offense? But that offense is built around him. ESPN Stats and Info tweeted out the following. While you were talking, I found it during the Super Bowl. With the 49ers now leading the Chiefs by 10, Mahomes is 4-0 when trailing by double digits this season, including 2-0 in the playoffs. No starting quarterback has led 3 double-digit comebacks in a single postseason. They tweeted that out in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. And like clockwork, Patrick Mahomes did it again. It's the marginal utility on top of everything else Mahomes gives you over everyone else. In other words, however far anyone else can get you, Mahomes can win you a Super Bowl down by 10 in the fourth quarter as a second-year starter after being the MVP, 50 touchdowns, 12 interceptions as a first-year starter. He is qualitatively different than anyone who ever lived, and the answer is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, both your guys' arguments are fantastic. I'm picking Tom Brady. I mean, just because as I sit here on March 29th today, like, who's more important to their football team? Well, the Buccaneers have now vaulted into a top 10 team into the NFL and easily a top 4 team into the NFC. They have much better Super Bowl odds, and the expectations around Tampa Bay are significantly higher now. I also don't know who their backup quarterback is. If Tom Brady wasn't there today, we know that Bruce Arians and Jason Light had plans to go get Phillip Rivers or Teddy Bridgewater, and we would all sit there and say that we think the team is in a better situation than it was 3 months ago. I don't know if Ryan Griffin is assigned to be their backup quarterback, but without Tom Brady, this team doesn't have a quarterback right now. That's just the reality. To Max's point and to Stephen A's point, those guys are remarkable, but we saw Matt Moore go 1-1 for Kansas City last year. No, they're not winning, even coming close to winning the Super Bowl without Patrick Mahomes. But we saw Matt Moore have some success guiding that offense to giving them a chance. And to Baltimore, Baltimore's got one of the best offensive lines in football, a top 5 defense, 3 tight ends before the Hayden Hurst trade, 3 tight ends which were the only unit in the NFL like them. And RG3 could go operate that offense, certainly, and both those guys are still with those football teams. And so I look at Tampa Bay going, man, Tom Brady is irreplaceable to them as we stand there today.
To watch, if you really want to watch some great video breakdown, watch Dan break down the 3 tight end set that Baltimore runs for Lamar Jackson. But Dan, you say 1-1, without Mahomes. That's basically what Tampa was last year. 7-9 is practically a 1-to-1 ratio. It's 1 game different. So they also were like 1-1 without Tom Brady.
And then look at Baltimore's running attack, number 1 running attack in football because of Lamar Jackson.
Lamar's different.
Again, I'll fight you guys on a lot of stuff and debate, but like Patrick Mahomes, and you guys know how I feel about him, and I was raving on Lamar all last year. But those teams, I think, could stay afloat for a game or two if their starters go down. I don't think Tampa Bay can stay afloat for a game or two without Tom Brady. I think it needs to be Tom Brady's show.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.